Hey everyone, Charlene here. Today I am turning one stenciling session into 3 completely different cards. I'll show you how a little extra shading, repeated colors, and the right background paper can make a full card trio feel polished, intentional, and cohesive. Honeybee Stamps' new release just launched, and I have here the Picked with Love stamps and coordinating dies, but what is really exciting is this set also has coordinating stencils. So I'm going to use one stenciling session as my starting point, and I'm going to make intentional design choices so that all of my cards feel cohesive. Batch stenciling saves so much time. I'm starting by stenciling all of the fruit images at once. This not only saves time, but it also helps me to build a color palette that's going to work across all 3 of my cards. My goal here is not for every card to look exactly the same. I want them to feel like they belong together. I have here a half sheet of cardstock. It's 5.5 inches wide, so there's just enough area on each side of my piece of cardstock that I can use the sticky mat in my stamping platform to hold it down. I am making sure there's enough room on the edges so that when I die cut out the images when we're all done, that nothing is going to get cut off. I'll start by coloring in my lemons, and I'm using a medium tone of yellow to do this. So I'll start here by inking up my brush. Then I'll just work it over this area in the stencil to color in the lemon. Now to finish the lemon, I'll bring in a slightly darker orangish yellow, and I'll bring this in from the edges to add some shading onto the edge of the lemon. The stencil gives me the basic shape, but the shading is really what adds the life to your stenciled image. I don't want my fruit to look flat, so this darker ink around the edges and anywhere that pieces overlap will make the images feel not only more dimensional, but they'll actually make them feel softer. For my strawberry, I'm doing something similar. I have a medium red color, and then I'm using a slightly darker red around the edges of the strawberry to make it look 3D. I'm using a light pink ink for the peach tree blossoms, and I definitely recommend looking up on Google images for whatever the type of thing is that you're coloring, because I didn't realize until today that peach trees have light pink blossoms. So I'm going to go ahead and color all of these in. The actual peaches themselves can vary in color. They naturally have a mix of yellow, orange, and red, so I'm letting those colors blend together here instead of keeping everything perfectly separated. I'm starting out with that same mid-tone yellow that I used before, and I'm using a piece of cardstock here to mask off the areas I don't want to color. Now I'll bring in that same medium red color that we used on the strawberry, and I'll bring this in from the edges, and you can see where it blends over the yellow, it's going to create that fun orangish red color that you see on a lot of peaches. I finished with the first stencil, so I'll lift this up and bring in the second stencil. A nice thing about the Honeybee Stamp stencils is that they have the embossed lines on them to make it really easy when you are lining everything up. I'll do a very similar thing here with these lemons. I'm going to color in the entirety of the lemons with that mid-tone yellow. And then I'll bring in the slightly darker yellow, and I'll use that to go around the edges so you can see the difference between the lemons when we're done. Something I really love about ink blending is that you can use the same color twice and it will build up the color to make it darker. So on these detail areas of the strawberry, this is going to be a cut strawberry, I'm actually bringing in that same dark red, and because it's creating a second layer of the color, it's going to show up and look slightly darker. I'll use that same concept here on my peaches. As I add additional layers of color, they will darken. So I've put that same yellow we used before over the peaches, and now I'm bringing in some more of that medium red color. I'll use my darker yellow color to help create that shade line to show the difference between the 2 peaches. I finished with that stencil, so I'll lift this up. You can already see how pretty this looks. This stencil set is really versatile because if you don't want to create a lot of extra shading like I'm doing, you could simply go over the stencils as is in a solid go of ink blending, and it's going to create fun areas of shading for you. Now I'm kind of going for a more natural look here, so I am picking and choosing which areas of the stencil that I want to use. I use those same techniques throughout the rest of the stencil, so now I'll go ahead and remove this layer and bring in stencil layer number 4. This layer introduces some new fruit to our stenciling, some blueberries. So I have a medium color of blue, and I'm going to color in all of the blueberries with this mid-tone blue. I'll go ahead and remove this layer of the stencil and bring in layer number 5 and line everything up. This layer of the stencil is going to color in our leaves. Now, leaves are one of my favorite places to add depth. Anywhere a leaf tucks behind fruit or another leaf, I'm going to add a darker green so that the arrangement feels layered. You can see I started out by coloring in the entirety of this stencil with a really bright light green. This will make it easy for us when we bring in this medium green to create that dimension, because it's going to be really nice and dark up against that lime green that I started with. So anywhere that the peach or other fruit would be in front of the leaves, I'm making sure to add some of that darker green color. That creates this beautiful 3D effect on the leaves and stems. I did the same thing throughout the entire stencil, so I'll lift that one up and bring in layer number 6. You'll notice that I'm using a lot of the same colors throughout the stenciled images. I have very similar greens, yellows, pinks, and those warm fruit tones across all of the different images, even though each focal image is different. Those repeated colors are what is going to help the finished trio feel intentional. Now I can bring in a darker shade of blue, and that's going to help create the depth and dimension on our blueberries. And I'm largely going to use the existing openings on the detail areas of the stencil for this darker blue, because I'm working with pretty small spaces here. Now I'll remove stencil layer number 6, and it looks so pretty already. I'll bring in layer number 7 and line this up. I'll start with this darker orangish yellow color, and that's what I'm going to use to create my strawberry seeds. This layer of the stencil creates a lot of details, so I'm just being really intentional about the colors that I'm choosing as I go through. I finished with that layer of the stencil, so I'm going to go ahead and lift it up, and I realized that I missed my peach pit on some of these stencils. So you create the peach pit with layers 3 and 4, so I can easily go back in here and line things back up, and I'll bring in those same colors I used before, that darker yellowish orange, to create the center here. Then on the detail stencil, I'm going to bring in a dark brown, and I'm going to put a good amount down because I want it to be nice and dark. Now I'm going to use what's left on my brush of that dark brown and just very lightly go around any of the florals that I want to be white. That's going to help them to stand out against the white background. I'll go ahead and lift off this stencil, and I'm also going to bring back in layer number 2 because I want the edge of the peach to stand out a little bit more. Don't be afraid to bring back in your stencils once you've fully evaluated everything to make sure that things look nice. Now we have that nice area of extra definition where we need it along the edge. I'll take my piece out, grab the coordinating dies, then line all of the corresponding dies up with our stenciled images and use some Low-Tack tape to hold each of them in place before cutting everything out with my die cutting machine. You can really see here now the beautiful effect you get from just shading with your stencils rather than stamping out your images. The next design decision is choosing a background that's going to support our images without stealing attention. Now the Signature Surfaces paper pack is going to work beautifully here because it's going to add some soft watercolor texture and color while still letting the stenciled fruit be the star. I'm very excited about this paper pack because it was designed by the Honeybee Stamps design team. And you can see these are perfect for backgrounds on any card. They are just beautiful. Some of them are done with watercolors, some with mixed media, and some with ink blending. The design team submitted their creations that they made in order to create this paper pack. And I'm very excited because right here is my blended piece of paper, my design that was contributed. I wanted to show you here the original ink blended piece that I provided to Honeybee Stamps, just so you can see how amazing this paper pack is. Like, you can't even tell the difference between my original ink blended piece and the paper that came in that paper pack. It's absolutely just gorgeous. I am so impressed with how this paper pack turned out. Now, I also wanted to share something exciting that Honeybee Stamps has done for me. They have given me 2 of these amazing paper packs to give away. I'm going to give one of these packs away on the Honeybee Stamps YouTube channel and one on the Dreamcraft Create, my personal YouTube channel. So be sure to check the description box of the video you're watching to find out how you can enter to win this paper pack. I chose 3 different pieces of the pattern design paper that I thought would work really well with the stenciled images. And I also cut out 3 white pieces of cardstock to 3¼ inches by 4½ inches. Now, white space is going to make a colorful card feel polished. Since there's a lot of color and movement going on, this clean white panel is going to give our eye a place to rest. I've stamped several sentiments from the same stamp set, and I'll cut those out with the coordinating dies. I have everything picked out, but I'm going to add an extra special touch to this card. I've added a card base to my stamping platform, and now I'm stamping out the coordinating stamp that goes with the stenciled image that I'm going to put on the front of the card. So for the lemon card, I have the coordinating lemon stamp, and I'm going to stamp this out in that same mid-tone yellow that I used when I was ink blending through the stencil. So you can see it's going to create this fun image inside of the card, but it's going to be in a light ink color, so I could still easily write a personal message over the top and it's not going to interfere. I'm also stamping out a little sub-sentiment or an inside sentiment on the card to help everything feel cohesive. And I am going to stamp this twice. That is a great way when you are stamping with black ink to build up the darkness of the ink and help it stand out. Now it's time to put my card together. I have a little trick here for you. I have a grid transparency that I have taped my white piece of cardstock to. All I need to do now is add glue to the back of the white cardstock. Then I can lay it over the top of my background piece and it's going to be perfectly centered. I'll go ahead and add glue to that piece and glue it to my card base. And then a great idea for adding dimension is to use foam tape. So I've added foam tape here to my lemons, and I'm going to add these cute little blueberries, but I'm going to make sure that they slightly overlap the lemon image. I'm going to do the same thing with my sentiment. That overlapping is going to help everything feel more integrated. It's also a good idea to add supporting foam tape behind any portion of the sentiment that's going to be hanging off of your image. So here I put it underneath the V and the E. This is the finished lemon card. I'm going to go ahead and put together the other 2 cards in very much the same way. And I'm also going to add some crystal glimmer enamel stickers to finish everything off. So look at that fun inside that just helps everything feel so cohesive and pulled together. Here's our beautiful peaches card. You can see I overlapped a couple of things on the front there, and then I did some ombre stamping on the inside. And then I have our beautiful strawberry card. I absolutely love how all of these colors tie in together. I think what I love most though about this trio is that each card has its own personality, yet they all feel like they still belong together. I hope that you all picked up some tips and tricks today. Please be sure to like and subscribe, as well as hit that notification bell so that you'll know about future videos here on the Honey Bee Stamps YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.